This is the 10 o'clock news on KTVU Fox 2.
3 Democrats and 1 Republican clash on the debate stage. The race for California's U.S. Senate seat heats up as the top contenders meet for the first time.
We need a leader who puts our interests first.
I'm the most experienced, I'm the most consistent, progressive.
What Californians want is not just more political talking points. They want someone who can deliver.
I'm common sense, I'm compassionate, I'm consensus building, and I think
Tonight, these candidates making their case to fill a rare vacancy for the seat once held by the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Meeback.
And I'm Julie Hayner. The top 2 candidates, regardless of party, move on to the general election. KTVU's political reporter Greg Lee is here now with the big moments. Greg.
Julie, Mike, good evening to you. We are just a couple of weeks until ballots start getting mailed out. Tonight, an opportunity for Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, Barbara Lee, and Steve Garvey to speak directly to voters and try to peel support from each other. The strategy for the Democrats on stage: go after the Republican. The top 4 candidates in California's U.S. Senate race met for the first time on the debate stage. Democrats and members of Congress Barbara Lee, Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, and first-time candidate Republican Steve Garvey making their case for your vote.
Let's shake up the Senate. Let's change how Washington works.
I have been a consistent, progressive, who gets the job done, who has delivered for my constituents.
We need a senator in California who's ready to lead in the big fights, but we also need a senator who can get things done.
as a conservative moderate, I thought it was time to stand up. Time to stand up against career politicians.
Garvey, the former professional baseball player, surging recently in the polls to second. His competitors came out swinging, first pressing him on his refusal to say if he'll back former President Trump if he's the nominee.
You're banging on that trash can just like the Astros did.
Once a Dodger, always a Dodger, and refused to answer the question.
On homelessness, Garvey said he wants an audit of spending after touring encampments, but has not released a specific policy proposal.
I needed to talk to the homeless, went up to them and touched them and listened to them.
As somebody who's been unsheltered, I cannot believe how he described his walk and touching and being there with the homeless. Come on, please.
Mr. Garvey, I'm sorry, that was a total swing and a miss. We need to build hundreds of thousands of units of new housing. We can do that if we incentivize through tax credits the building of affordable housing.
As Porter and Lee fight for the progressive lane, they disagreed on some inside baseball. The use of earmarks or a way members of Congress bring money back to local causes.
It is no surprise that Washington politicians think earmarks work. We know that Congressman Schiff didn't solve homelessness in L.A., and Congresswoman Lee hasn't solved the challenges in Oakland.
Okay. It would really be a dereliction of my duty to my constituents if I did not fight for every single dollar that I could find, because yes, California is a donor state. They deserve their tax dollars back.
Schiff continues to lead this race, both in the polls and fundraising. The 3 Democrats agreed on issues like Medicare for all and abortion rights, but are split on the Israel-Hamas war. Lee calling for an immediate ceasefire. Porter wants conditions met first, and Schiff opposes it.
The only way Israel is going to be secure is through a permanent ceasefire. The only way that is going to happen is with a political and diplomatic solution.
Ceasefire is not a magic word. You can't say it and make it so. But we have to push as the United States, as a world leader, for us to get to a ceasefire and to avoid another forever war.
No country could refuse to defend itself. It has a duty to defend itself, and I think the United States should support Israel in defending itself.
You have represented Oakland in the...
Now, these 4 on the stage tonight are the top polling candidates in a field of more than 25. There's currently at least one more debate on the calendar for next month. California's primary election scheduled for March 5th. Mike, Julie?
He'll be here before we know it. Nice to see everyone on the stage debating out there, but at this point, 6 weeks out, are there a lot of people at home still undecided when it comes to this race?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the latest polls, and about 24-25% still haven't decided. Likely some of those are part of the independent voter sect of Californians. That could be a key factor here, so likely we're going to see these candidates and the others in this race make a campaign blitz over the next few weeks.
Who was the big winner that stood out to you tonight?
I mean, I think for Barbara Lee, she had a big night, right? She came out with a lot of power. Steve Garvey needed to have a good night to prove that he could hang with these candidates. He fell a little flat because he was unable to verbalize those policy positions that we talked about. He was unable to do that, and certainly we saw him get attacked a lot. So he's got some work to do moving ahead.
And top 2 move ahead.
That's right.
Regardless of party. All right, Greg, thank you.
Thanks, Greg.